Good morning. So welcome to Joyful Joints, and we are on our last Tuesday in the month of May. Um, Here where I live, which is near Indianapolis, Indiana, we have the big Indianapolis 500 coming up. There's a lot of people that are super excited because they will be opening to a limited capacity amount of fans, whereas last year the race didn't happen. So interesting what's happening. But before class started, I was chatting away, and the theme that's coming up, we were talking about how last week, a lot of us and a lot of people in general were feeling a lot of stiffness and soreness and lethargy and just general aches and pains through the body. It was pretty intense last week. This week, we're seeing like lots of people with much less pain in their bodies and with lots of energy and ready to go and super excited. And so it's led us into a discussion of the law of cycles, right? So one of the things that challenges us as we go through life is if we believe that things are just supposed to get a certain way and then stay like that, oh, if I could only achieve this, then everything will be good and it'll go on, right? Or if I could only achieve this, if I could only get married, if I could only get that job, and then it'll just stay that way and it'll be perfect. Well, that's not really how it works, right? So life is a cycles. There's cycles of seasons. There's cycles of months and years. There's just always cycles of ups and downs. And one thing we got to talk about last week is if you just go along and you let the cycles happen, you let the ups and downs happen on their own, then our trajectory for growth over time is a little bit. However, if you do something for yourself, like regular nervous system maintenance, like joint mobility drills, like take care of yourself with something like Joyful Joints, which really lets you know that you're doing something good. And if you can do that over the course of time, then what happens is as you start to make those downward swings, right, as the cycles come along and a downward swing is coming, you work hard at doing the things that make you feel better, and all of a sudden you don't dip as low, you don't dip as far, and you don't dip as long, right? And then once you start that upward swing, if you keep doing those things that make you stronger, that make you feel better, you project yourself up higher and faster. So instead of a trajectory looking like this with little curves, you can have a trajectory that looks like this, and you can achieve more in a shorter amount of time, okay? So somebody asked me, why are we talking about that? We talked about it yesterday as well, and it was just simply to give you a bigger why to take care of yourself. Why should I do these things that are good for me? Because how many of you have ever, you're like, well, I know it's good for me. I know I probably shouldn't eat the whole bag of Oreos, but sometimes I just do it anyway, right? Or I know maybe I should do more exercise or do a certain type of exercise, but yeah, I'm just too tired. So this is just one of those ways to get yourself to a point where you're really starting to recognize, choose, and practice the things that are good for you, right? And so then in that case, then when things are hard or challenging, you can do a better job. You can be more present than without it. All right, so enough chit chat. Let's do some work. I wanted to play a new game with you. All right, so we have lots of veterans on the class today. If you are watching this later, or if you are not a veteran at this time, I want you to be very cautious in how you're doing this reassessment. So we're gonna do a standing reassessment. So everybody stand up, and we're gonna put our feet all the way together. Now, for some of you, just this standing position is really hard. And let me just say this. If you put your feet all the way together and you immediately start to fall over, we need to do some really good work, some really good investigation of what might be going on in our brain, okay? So the ability to stand with your feet together and your eyes closed is something that you should have in your body. And if not, we need to talk about getting somebody else to tell us what's going on there, all right? So if you have the potential to fall over, I want you to hold on to a chair. But for most of you, I want you to have the potential, you're gonna be able to step or open your eyes, you're not gonna fall down, okay? All right, here we go. Feet together, close your eyes, and hang out there. And I'm going to watch you while you're doing this. While you are standing there, I want you to have awareness of your whole physical body. Be aware of your entire body. If you cannot do it standing, you could do it just seated up on your chair and have the same idea. So your eyes are closed. What is your body doing? Is it moving? Is it standing still? Is your head spinning? Are your eyes needing to open because it's a little scary? Very good. All right. Go ahead and open your eyes. So by a show of hands, how many of you noticed while you were standing there that your body was either swaying or going in circles or you were wobbly to any extent? Anybody have some wobbles? Okay. Now, how many of you felt perfectly stable? You were going nowhere. Anybody? It's a tough one. All right. So we're going to work on that, and that's where our attention is going to lie. Every time we're going to come back and reassess and just be aware of what your body feels like. You might also be aware, some of you are you've been around long enough, you might be starting to feel that there's moving energy in your body, that things are moving around, that you're getting heavier in one place or warmer in one place, or that the strength is shifting. So I want you to be aware of that as well. All right, so let's start to intervene here with our foot drills. Let's step forward with your right foot. Yep. And let's let that ankle tip over to the side and come back on top. And tip over and come back. Good job. Tip over and come back. Beautiful. Come over and back and over and back and over, back. Last time, over, back. Let's change feet. Let's do the left foot. Take that foot, tip it over and put it back. Who's smiling? Over and back and over. There you go. Back and over and back. 2 more times. Over, back and over. I just want to do a quick shout out. It is so good to see Judy's computer on here today. Hi, Judy. Everybody give a shout out to Judy. All right, good. Put your feet together. Let's reassess. So give yourself a moment. You might need to wiggle first. Feet together, close your eyes, and be aware of your body. Be aware of the whole body. Give it a moment. It might have to take an adjustment before it settles in. You might be aware of the pressure on the bottoms of your feet. Great. And open your eyes. So can you guys, anybody experience something enough to speak about it, to unmute yourself and tell us, what did you feel? So today's class is a lot about how can we assess and reassess with more subtlety, with more awareness, with more depth. Anybody have something that happened that was different from the first to the second? Cool. So then we won't talk about it, then will we? Good. And I'm not going to tell you what you might come up with, because then I might plant a seed and you might think you felt it. So this is up to you guys. All right. So now let's have a seat. Let's take your either your focal pointer or your pen or your thumb, remember? And let's try pencil push-ups. Let's see what happens when we practice our pencil push-ups. Excellent. All right, we'll let one more person come back here. Good. Beautiful. You guys look great out there today, by the way, just so you know. All right, stretching that stick out. Both eyes are directed to that bead. So both eyes should be looking at the bead or your thumbnail. And then you slowly draw it in. You're going to make it touch right here between your eyebrows. Slowly. Keep both eyes attempting to look at the bead. If it turns into 2 beads, it means one of your eyes is no longer looking at it. Now slowly take that bead out away from you again. Slowly keep looking at that bead, keep focusing on it. Excellent. Yes. Let's do it again. So take note of how close to your nose it stays to be 1 bead. At what point does it maybe split into 2 beads? Or maybe it becomes fuzzy at a certain point. Or maybe the muscles in your eyes start cramping because they're not used to working like that. Stretch it back out again. Yeah. Let's switch hands and do 2 more. Some of you won't like this because it'll be shaky, right? You're like, wah! That's okay, practice it anyway. Pull it in, right to those eyebrows. Hold. Oh, my eyes are getting a workout. How about you guys? Take it back out again. Awesome. And one more time, draw that bead in. All the way in, all the way in, all the way in. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Goodness. And stretch it back out. All the way back out. Woo! Okay, that was wonderful. So I had a whole different experience with my eyes today on that exercise. Been doing this for years and it felt different today, so that's kind of fun. Let's stand up and reassess. So your feet go all the way together and close your eyes. Give it a minute to settle and then see what's happening. Be aware of your body. Great. Wow. Okay, so not a thumbs up today. I'm not looking for thumbs up today. I'm looking for actual feedback and actual words to describe what changed. Now, why am I doing this? Because some of you are pleasers and you like to just give us thumbs up. But I want to hear more words. And let's determine if it's really a thumbs up. So anybody out there have a response? What did you notice? Lauren.
I had, like, in the beginning, I had little shifts I noticed, but there was few of they were really small, but there was few of them and I felt my left foot more.
Cool. Excellent. So are we going to give that a judgment and a thumbs up or thumbs down? Not today. Okay. So again, if anybody is first time joining this Joyful Joints class, we are doing a little bit more of an advanced class and we'll feel free, we'll share some of our more beginning classes, but thank you, Lauren, for that feedback. Anybody else notice something? Notice anything while you were standing there? Oh. So no, everybody just stood still. Nothing was happening. You can unmute yourselves. You don't know how to unmute yourself. Cute, adorable. You can also type in the chat if you know how to do that. Good. Suetta, I saw you pointing to something.
I noticed just tiny inside the little bit of quivering, and it seems like it gets less. I don't think I'm moving that much. I just feel like, and I feel pretty balanced. It goes back and forth just slightly.
Cool.
And I think it's gotten less for this one.
That is great feedback, Nancy. So that's what I'm trying to get you guys to do. Again, if you've been with this program, there's a level of just what is my physical body doing, but you can also take this to deeper and deeper awareness. So Nancy said she thought she felt quivering, not necessarily movement, but something more subtle like that, right? And that quivering may be changing and shifting and lessening. That's cool. All right, Kathy says the same thing. Tiny adjustments of the feet that we're stabilizing. So that's very, very cool. Suetta, what about you?
It's just that it is a little bit of, it was kind of more the same, but just a little bit of more, maybe more steady than wobbling.
So if I wanted to talk to that and address that for you all, what we're doing is we're speeding up. So I would have given all of those a thumbs up reassessment, right? But you had to dig pretty deep to feel it. So all that's happening is we're speeding up how fast our brain can talk to our body, how fast our brain can respond to us being off balance, okay? So if you're standing there and you're not responding very fast, you'll notice the movement a little bit more. The quicker your body gets. By the way, balance is never really static. We never really just stand still. There are always adjustments going on to keep you from falling over, right? If you have a super slow nervous system, then you're going to get this far over and you can't do anything about it. You fall down. If you have a really fast nervous system, then in the smallest amount of wiggling, you're going to be making adjustments and not even be aware of it on the conscious level. Make sense? Ah, okay. So again, why do you keep doing these exercises? Why do we keep practicing beyond when we have no pain left in our body? Because there's more to do. And that's one of the jobs of this program, is to remove your limiting beliefs. Remove the fact that you can't be unlimited or that anything's impossible. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you're not unmuted, so.
Unmuted?
Yeah, go
Thank you. In this last standing exercise movement, I quickly knew what was moving. Quickly, I could identify what was happening.
Great.
It was a stronger feeling than the first time around, which was kind of a jumble.
Cool.
And I was quickly able to correct that.
That's beautiful, man. Beautiful awareness. All right, so now we've already done let's feel better. We've made our nervous systems fast, so let's move. Let's move. Stand up. Quickly, too. Great job. Put your feet apart from each other. Good. Again, now we're going to start moving faster, so some of you take it easy out there. You can substitute toe taps if your body is not strong enough to be standing at the moment. But if you are, you can use your chair, not use your chair, sit down on one leg and come up. Sit down on the other leg and come up. Sit on one side. So your legs are nice and wide, and we sit down from one leg and up and to the other leg and up. Very good. Into one leg and up and to the other leg. Bravo. Okay, sit down on one leg. Be aware of your straight leg, and let's turn our foot in and put it back. In and back. In and back. How many of you can also hold your belly wall in? Anybody? Make sure it didn't spill out. No bellies on the floor, please. All right, shift to the other side. Be aware of that straight leg foot. Tip it in. Put it back. Tip it in. Put it back. Good job. Tip it in. Put it back. Tip it in. Oh, yeah. Tip it in. Put it back. Where's that belly wall? Bravo. Okay, stand up. Hands on the chair or not. Flip your foot upside down for toe pulls. Good. Excellent. And go to your big toe and then to your pinky toe. Great. So one of the reasons why I'm challenging you guys is because you guys have been such amazing supporters of this program, and I do not seek to leave you only at a certain level. So today is challenge day for all of you veterans. Good job. And switch feet. Flip it upside down. Very good. And for those of you who might be new, this is just a little sneak preview of how you might get to be down the road, over and back. It could be also because Lynn is not able to be here today to keep me in order. Maybe I'm just making up things since I don't have a caretaker. All right, next, let's do our hip circles, our single leg hip circles. So go ahead and use a balance thing, and let's slide one leg out in front of you. Good. How many of you did slide the leg and sink over into that other hip? How about not? Let's stand tall, and then don't sink as you slide your leg forward. Aha, now try to circle that. Trying to not sink becomes very difficult when we've got a lot of stuff going on that hip. And then reverse. In fact, it's pretty impossible at the point when you do need a hip replacement, because sometimes those are necessary. Good, and put your feet together. Beautiful. Standing tall. How much did you have to come back up, or how well did you hold yourself, are the questions you ask. Make sure your belly wall is drawn back, especially anybody who's having some lower back pains or lower back issues. The belly wall needs to come back. The pelvic floor needs to come up. Now do the other leg. If you hold those two things, you'll also sag less. Belly wall, pelvic floor, circle the leg. 1, 2, good. Hold that belly wall. It should be back over your pelvis. Good. Reverse. Uh-oh, we froze. Good job. Excellent. So if I were looking at you from the side, we're going to do those again. If I were looking at you from the side and as your leg came up, look at my chest. It's clear out in front. Look at my back. How far my rib cage is not over my pelvis. So this is a requirement, right? Or you're going to tell me your knees hurt, something hurts. So pull those ribs back and let's see if we can't circle our leg now. Let's try it again. 1, 2, good. 3, 4, 5, 6, reverse. 1, 2, good. 3, 4, good. And legs together, do the other leg. Did you stay tall or did you sag? And if your chair is in front of you, be careful because you might be leaning forward. We need to be tall. 2, 3, good. 4, 5, 6, reverse. 1, 2, better. Stay tall. 5, and good job, you guys. Very, very good job. Let's put our feet apart and do another kind of hip circles. So again, is your rib cage living out in front of your pelvis? Because this can't go well. Pull the rib cage back and put it on top of your pelvis. If you don't know, then get somebody to picture you from the side, okay? Staying like this, our hips, our pelvis should go front, side, back, and side. Front, side, back, and side. Right. So you'll notice as we come around the front, my hips are in front of my ribs. Get those hips all the way out there in front of your ribs. Good. Knees should stay straight. That's important. Good. And then reverse. Reverse. Good. So this, for you chronic healers out there, this is a good way to cleanse the perineum minor chakra, the basic chakra, some of those areas that are important for us. Good. Excellent. Now let's be aware of our sits bones. Let's try one thing standing. You guys have those sits bones where we sit on a like a bicycle seat. You can feel them. My sits bones right now are pointed straight down. I want you guys to bend your knees and very gently. So careful. Some of you with back pain, I see you. Your ribs are way out front again. Pull them back. Point your sits bones backwards and then point your sits bones forward. These are pelvic tilts, and you need to do them with what level of intensity in Joyful Joints? Show me in your hands, 3 or less. Right. So the gentle movement, your knees need to be bent, ribs back. Make sure you can point those sits bones backward and forward. Good. Also make sure you're not gripping your tushy to move them. There you go. Good. So again, if you are in active back pain, you have to do that even lighter. But it's important to get that mobility in order to loosen the tension on our lower back. Okay? So after the leg exercises, everybody feet together, eyes closed, reassess. Now you kind of know what we're looking for. So you got to quiet down. Be aware of things happening in your body. Good. Wow. So, did anybody notice that when you first closed your eyes, you maybe had a big wobble, but then everything calmed down? Anybody notice that? I saw a couple of you. That's sometimes the thing, right? Your body goes, whoa, and then it calms back down. That's usually an improvement in the nervous system, but that's for another class. Come and have a seat, everybody. Good work. All right, let's do the upper chest now, the upper chest. So again, if you struggle or are having active issues in your low back, then you do this next series leaning on your chair. Get back there, get your ribs to the chair, okay? Because I am seeing a lot of boobies forward, chest forward, okay? And that is not our position. Get the boobies and the ribs. And by ribs, I mean these ones down here. If I touch those lower ribs, yes. Now, if you're not having any issues, you can sit up away from the back of your chair. If you just want to become more familiar, you can stay back, okay? So either or is good today. let's start with rotation. So make a circle around your heart. You can even make the little heart sign if you want to. Good. And by moving these ribs down here, we'll pull one side off the chair. Notice how that makes my heart turn to the side. And then we come back. And then the other side, we pull it off the chair. Good. Now make sure you're only moving the ribs, not the belly button and not the sits bones. Good. If you get it figured out touching the back of the chair, then you can try it not touching the back of the chair. Good. Good. Wow. Okay. I got to give Vicki a shout out there. Good job. Looking great. Has that improved for you, that movement, Vicki? Yeah, good job. All right. Last week was also interesting because last week, a lot of people were stuck in their heart movements. Remember I said we had a lot more pain, a lot more stiffness, that type of thing. We also found it very difficult to get to the heart movements. This week, it's just wide open. So I don't know what that is. Maybe the full moon that's happening, the beautiful Gemini full moon, right? Okay, so now everybody, where that heart was, again, if you're back against the chair, stay there, open that heart and just let your arms drop. Don't pinch your shoulders back. Do not pinch your shoulders back. You're pinching your back heart, but not through there. Woo! Good. Now, contract the other direction. Contract right where your heart was. Contract those muscles in there deep. Yes, you can dangle those arms down. You should be able to look and see your lap now. Look down and see your lap and hold that heart really strong. Come on, round forward. Some of you, your arms are somehow still behind you. I don't understand that one. Yeah, okay, it's mean, Paula, teacher. I'm so sorry. Gymnastics is like moving into Olympic trials. It's programmed into my DNA to make you work harder. Okay, so as you come forward, those arms should move. Let's put our hands on our lap. Yep, so if your elbow is still not in front of your boobies, then you are still putting your ribs forward. So you got to do the opposite. Scoop it in there, scoop it in there, scoop it in there. Awesome. Go the other direction. Open your heart. Good. For those of you that are opening your heart, everybody close your tummy muscles. Close in your solar plexus. Yes, there we go. Now fold forward. Fold that rib cage forward. I want to see those shoulders round forward. Your hands go to your lap. Good. Now while you're rounded forward, everybody get nice round forward. Lift up your navel and lift up your throat, but stay rounded forward. There you go. Yes. That's better. Come on, fold that chest in more. Okay, I'm going to give you all a challenge. Because like we haven't had any of those today. How about who can take their forehead toward their knees? And then come back up again. Good. Again, new people, this is not one of our basic exercises. We're having advanced class today. Take your forehead, try to touch your knees with it. Keep your belly button scooped up and in. And then come back up again. Aha, yes, let's do that again. I need to watch you. Curl down. Let's see if you can get that forehead on your knees without letting your belly button touch your knees. Oh, very good. And come back up. Uh-huh. How many of you in your head or in your brain are the words, don't round forward, it'll be slumpy. Ew, it's bad posture to do that, right? Okay, some of you have so trained yourself that you never want to be schlumpy, that you've gotten yourself stuck here, and there's a whole lot of tension that's stuck in the back, right? Balance, balance, if you remember that from last week. Here we go. One more time. Round. Get as schlumpy as you possibly can, but scoop your belly button in. There you go. Nice, Peggy. That's it, everybody. Round that forehead to your knees. Yes. And then sit yourselves back up tall. Woo! Very, very nice. Let's reassess after that. That was very interesting. Feet Feet all the way together, ankles closed, eyes closed, and just be aware. Give yourself a moment to integrate whatever. All right. Good. So let's come back and let's just talk about what you noticed. By the way, it may have nothing to do with the balance. Just what did you notice? Were there new thoughts coming to your head? Were there any emotions? Anybody want to unmute and share anything or type in the chat there for us? Ooh, Beth, we get Beth.
When we first started the balance thing or the eyes closed, I was really heavy on the left side. And as we've progressed and gone on, it's much more even now.
Awesome. All right, nervous system and balance. The homeostasis is about balancing your nervous system, period. That's all we're doing. Anybody else? Suette is close by the camera. How does she unmute?
I was going to type it. I'm just feeling more stable.
Fantastic. That's excellent, Suetta. Good, good, good. All right, you guys. Very, very nice job out there. So let's go ahead and finish up with some arms and hands and some head movements. So let's go ahead and do our collarbone circles. So with your heavy arms, make heavy arms today and move your collarbones forward, up, and around. Good job. Forward, up, and around. Beautiful. Forward, up, and around. Forward, up, and around. Good. Awesome. And then reverse, back up and forward. Good. So we're not necessarily pinching our shoulders backward. We're just drawing the collarbone backward. There you go. Good. Equally on both sides. Make sure you're equally moving on, excuse me, both sides. Good. Fingers on your shoulders. Elbow circles, together up and around. Together up and around. Good. Beautiful. Who's holding their belly wall in? Good. Reverse. Good. Whose rib cage is more settled on top of their pelvis? Good job. I see lots of improvement there. Yeah. Okay, now whole arms with a nice loose armpit. Whole arm circles. Good. Yes, 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 yes. And reverse. Beautiful. And then shake that out. Shake that out. Really good. Just let it go, let it go, let it go. Good. Give your wrists a massage. Just use your hands, your fingers, your thumb to massage the little bitty bones that make up your wrist. Give those some more space, maybe even into your thumb. And then do the other hand. Massage the wrists a little bit. Good. And maybe up into your hand and your thumb. Very good. And then hold those hands out. Right where you were massaging is the moving point. Circle. Good. I hope you're not just twirling your fingers, but you're moving your whole palm. Reverse. There you go. Big circles. Get those arms up, those armpits open. That's right. We got to be able to hold our arms up, guys. Don't let them sneak in here. It won't work. Close and open. That's it. Sorry, I'm so laughing at my voice. It's very strong for you guys today. All right, good. And shake it out. Very good. Moving up, be aware of the throat. Really contract, make that throat strong, and let your head turn from side to side. Let your head turn from side to side. Very good. Very good. And then let's take our head up and down with strong throat. Keep that strong throat. Good. Really look up at the ceiling. I want to see that crown point backwards and point all the way forwards. Right. Let your chest relax more so you can really look down at your lap. Really get past your boobies to see your lap. Right? Good. So I've talked a lot about boobies today. Just relax for a second. So one thing is, there are very few people in this world, and there are none of you on this TV show. Okay, whatever, on this class, you're on my TV. If you can't see past your boobies, it's not the boobies' fault. Okay? The fault is that you have tipped your rib cage and made your boobies stick out there. So that when you tip your head down, you can't see past them. All right? So what I need you to do is, so if you look at from the side again, this is hard. Here, we'll do that. You can see from the side, my spine is straight here. So when my head goes forward, it's way past my boobies. My boobies would have to be this big for me not to see past them. Okay? But if I tip my rib cage improperly and I try to look down, I can't see my feet past them. So pull the boobies, tip your ribbies forward. Good. That goes for boys too, just so you know. All right. Very good. Okay, you guys are amazing. So pick up your stick again. Let's do 3 more of our pencil push-ups to close the class. So we're looking at the bead and we draw it in. And you'll either notice that you can see it better or not, and take it away. You might notice there's less strain on the eyes, especially those of you who notice a shift in being heavy on one side to more balanced. That's generally accompanied by the ability to do this convergence exercise better. All the way in, come on, squeeze it in there. Right, and stretch it all the way back out. Cool. All right, final reassessment. Why don't you reassess your standing, but then reassess one of your flexibility moves or something that you've been practicing over the course of time. Good, that looks really good. Very nice. I see Nancy number 3 out there. We haven't heard much from you. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. All right. So what's your final overall assessment? How are you feeling now? Just in general from before to now. Good. Oh, 2 thumbs up. That's great. Cool. Peggy gives us a 2 thumbs up. All right. Good, good, good. Okay. Very, very nice, you guys. So we'll go ahead and call that the end of our class. And again, you guys who are live here, feel free to stay on. And I have a couple of announcements for you. So thank you very much, everybody. Let's go and live joyfully.